Darren's pretty devo that he can't go overseas, 'cause where his in-laws live it's minus 17 degrees. And Shaz is a bit upset that somebody ate a bat, 'cause now she's at this jetty and not her uncle's London flat. The Hendersons were supposed to stay for weeks with Auntie Jean. They'll miss her crazy rantings and a month in quarantine.
The following is an emergency warning broadcast from the Australian Warning System. Please pay attention to this broadcast. The information provided will have major implications for you and your family. It is in your best interests to listen carefully.
This broadcast has been authorised by the Australian Government. The following information will have major implications for you and your family, as well as Australian society. Society is broken. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, it is now clear that society rests on a knife edge between order and chaos, and we must now give it a push. Our failure to address key issues has resulted in the destabilization of society that could have grave consequences for the human race. As a result, we are taking steps to address what we view as the key flaws in society, to build a new and prosperous society that will ensure our longevity. These measures have been introduced in conjunction with the governments of the People's Republic of China, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Numerous other nations have given us their support on these measures. Our measures restructure society and its operation to ensure maximum security and minimal disturbance. Our plan is named Operation New World. New policies will be introduced, and they will be non-negotiable. Failure to comply will be met with severe punishment. A mandatory vaccination policy will be introduced. Your child will be vaccinated according to our expertly designed schedule, and refusal on behalf of the parents will result in your parental status being revoked and your child being rehomed for their own safety. It is in your best interests as a parent to ensure they are vaccinated on time and according to our schedule. With resistance expected to our societal restructuring, measures will be implemented to ensure civil unrest and domestic terrorism cannot pose a threat to our new world and its people. Every Australian citizen must be fitted with an observational chip. This will prevent those wishing to commit terror attacks from planning them. Observational chips will allow constant monitoring by our new Department of Civilian Observation, which will help to keep society safe from attack. The chip fitting process will begin, and over the next few months, people will be sent a text message informing them they must go for their chip fitting. Refusal to do so will result in disciplinary procedures at the discretion of the government. Our target is that all Australian citizens will be fitted with an observational chip by November 2022. After this point, tourists and visitors to Australia will not be allowed to enter the country if they are not also fitted with an observational chip. Various other nations will soon begin their own chip distribution procedures. We have also introduced strong internet monitoring procedures. All internet history will be observed, and our new EAS systems will monitor search history to ensure illegal and dangerous content isn't being searched for online. This will also be the responsibility of the Department of Civilian Observation. The Department of Civilian Observation will also be tasked with collecting DNA and fingerprint sample of all Australian citizens by November 2022. Between now and then, you will receive a text message giving you a date and time as to when you must go to have your fingerprint and DNA sample collected. This is to protect society and ensure any dissenters who threaten our societal restructuring can be dealt with as quickly as possible. If you fail to attend, you will face disciplinary procedures at the discretion of the government. It is in your best interest to obey. To protect civilians from financial fraud and to truly begin the digital age, physical currency will no longer exist. As of next week, all physical currency will no longer be of any worth. You should go to your local bank and have any remaining physical currency deposited into your bank account. Bank accounts will be controlled by a centralized AI system, known as quantum banking, to ensure minimal human influence and safety. The global human population poses a great threat to humanity. While data shows population growth is declining, it is still too high to ensure prosperity for society. To ensure the continued prosperity of society, we have designed measures to curb population growth. All citizens will be subjected to an IQ test and a test for the most common genetic conditions. Those who fall below an IQ rating that will be determined in due course will be forbidden from reproducing. If they disobey this law, their offspring will be euthanized. If you are forbidden from reproducing, it is in your best interests to obey. If tests reveal you have genetic conditions you are likely to pass on, you will also be unable to reproduce. Measures are also being implemented to deal with existing people. All criminals with sentence lengths above 2 years will be euthanized. The remaining criminals will be transferred to state-of-the-art labor facilities to ensure manual labor jobs free citizens tend to frown upon can still be done. Committing a crime will see you either join one of these labor facilities or be euthanized. Those over a certain age will also be euthanized. There are an estimated 5 million people in Australia who exceed the age of 60, around 1/5 of the Australian population. All those over 60 will now face euthanasia, and the process will begin within the next few days. All over 60s are being offered a financial reward for their families if they volunteer for euthanasia. The quicker this occurs, the larger the reward, the maximum reward being $20,000. After the euthanasia process is complete, the money will be deposited into your family's bank. Elderly people who refuse to comply with the euthanasia process will have their families taken to labor facilities, and their euthanasia will take place, albeit with weaker anesthetics being used. It is in your best interests to obey. In our new society, functionality will be essential. Everyone must contribute to society. From 1 year onwards, children will be in education. At age 16, children will begin 2 years of military service, and from 18 years onwards, they will enter the work system. Exceptional work ethic and efficiency as an employee will see people rewarded with an invitation to enroll at a university, at no cost to them, where they will be free to choose what to study. And upon the completion of their degree, will once again enter the world of work. They will continue to work until they reach the age of 60, where they will take part in the euthanasia process. If you are out of work currently, you will be assigned a job by the Department of Education, Skills and Employment. The political structure will also change. Parliament has been abolished, and executive control of Australia will reside with an individual yet to be selected. Their selection will be done by an international committee, chaired by an unnamed expert. Their selection is in the final stages, and the specific basis for their decision will not be disclosed but must not be regarded as arbitrary. The executive system will be adopted globally, and the International Committee is currently deciding who is best placed to take on the role of executive in their respective nations. The role of Australian executive will be announced in due course. An election process will reside with this International Committee, and the executive role will be reviewed every 5 years to determine if the person with the role is still the most suitable person for the role. The International Committee has a duty to evaluate every citizen of a nation over the age of 18. A strong work ethic and efficiency, coupled with strong leadership, will see those from all backgrounds and classes rise up the career ladder. To those who wish to fight for this role at some point in time, you must show those characteristics. These are the key changes to Australian and global society. Smaller and trivial changes will be available in due course on the government website. As stated previously, civil unrest will not be tolerated. Resistance to these changes will be met with extreme force. It is in your best interests to obey. These changes to society will ensure its prosperity for generations to come. This is the new future. This is the new Australia. This is the new world.